Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Right, I just came back from the movie theater and I saw Iron Man 3. And before I get with this review, yeah, if you're like a tight ass or some type of idiot that haven't seen the movie yet, if you're a fanboy of the Iron Man 3, if you haven't seen the movie yet, there's gonna be spoilers in this. If you're one of those type of people, I suggest you click off the video right now and go and watch another video on YouTube. I have other videos you can watch, epic videos. But this is an Iron Man review, and right now I'm playing. If you haven't noticed, this is Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and I'm using Iron Man because it's appropriate. Because I came back from the movie theater and I saw Iron Man, and I'm a little pissed off. I'm very pissed off, really, and I'll tell you why I'm pissed off. I came in to watch Iron Man 3 with expectations, and my expectations wasn't met, not one bit at all. I pretty much went to see Iron Man 3 because I'm a huge Robert Downey Jr. fan. Because every movie he does is pretty much funny, it's entertaining, he's a great actor, so I wanted to see the movie because he's in it. Plus Iron Man is pretty much one of my favorite characters growing up as a kid, because I grew up on watching Marvel Comics as a kid. I know the stories by heart, I read everything, I'm a comic book fan. I'm one of those people. Well, as a kid I was. I'm not anymore, but anyway, let me get into a review. So when the trailer came out for this movie, I was hyped. They had the Mandarin in the movie, they had Iron Patriot in the movie, they had a whole bunch of other people in the movie, and I was hyped to see this movie, but somehow along the way, when I found out Iron Patriot wasn't Norman Osborn, and if you read the comics, you know that Iron Patriot is Norman Osborn. If not, go and check out Dark Reign, Dark Avengers. Iron Man, Norman Osborn pretty much is a fake Iron Man slash Captain America or whatever. They're pretty much trying to be fake good guys, but they're still kind of bad doing what they want to do. That's what it is. And pretty much the Mandarin. The Mandarin is another reason why I wanted to see this movie, because the Mandarin, he was an epic villain in the Iron Man series, man. He was Iron Man's arch nemesis. That's the villain. He's like, the Mandarin is pretty much the Joker to Batman. That's pretty much what the Mandarin is to Iron Man. He's pretty much just a Joker. So, walked into the movie theater. I saw the movie. Where can I begin? Yeah, I walked into the movie, I saw the movie theater. It seemed like the beginning of the movie seemed to be some type of comedy. They wanted to have a comedic acting movie or whatever. And I'm like, whatever, okay, there's a few jokes, I don't give a shit, whatever. So anyways, oh my god, I don't know how to sugarcoat this. This movie is fucking goddamn awful. This movie fucking sucked. It sucked big time, man. It really sucked. That's why I'm so pissed off about it. And the reason why it sucked, man, is because, oh my god, man, oh my god. Okay, number one reason why it sucked. Pretty much, it seemed like it seemed too cartoonish. It seemed like a Saturday morning sitcom for kids. It seemed very, oh my god, I know it's based on a comic book, man, but it was non-realistic, and I don't care about that shit. Okay, it's a movie, it's Iron Man, it's whatever, it's non-realistic or whatever. But what ruined it for me, what ruined the movie for me, is that Iron Patriot wasn't Norman Osborn. He was Rhodey. Rhodey is pretty much Iron Man's best friend. Pretty much Rhodey is War Machine, but they decided not to call him War Machine anymore. They want to call him Iron Patriot. And I don't know why. They said it went well with the community. They liked Iron Patriot better because War Machine sounded too aggressive or whatever. I'm like, okay, now the movie really sucking to me now. Now the movie's really bad. So, and I mean, I could have dealt with that. I could have dealt with the Iron Patriot guy being Rudy Rhodes or whatever. I could have dealt with that. But then you have the Mandarin. The Mandarin is pretty much the main character of the movie. The Mandarin is what I really came to see, because the Mandarin is one of the main villains of Iron Man. I wanted the Mandarin to be in the first Iron Man movie. I wanted the Mandarin to be in the second Iron Man movie. But he's in this movie, so I was like surprised. He was like a badass terrorist or whatever, blowing shit up, fucking people up, and he was on the news. Like, okay, this movie might be decent. Okay, they might have fucked up Iron Patriot, but this movie might be decent. So anyway, I'm into the movie or whatever. Okay, they try to find out where the Mandarin is. Tony Stark's find out where he is or whatever. You know what I mean? Find out where he is, and the Mandarin end up being some fucking some bitch ass British actor, and people asking, "Are you the Mandarin?" Like, yes, I am, and pretty much there was another character in the shadows, using him as the main terrorist. Using him as an actor, to act like a terrorist while he's doing things behind the scene. So that's what it was. So the Mandarin wasn't a real character. Mandarin was a made-up character in his movie, trying to scare people while the other dude behind the scenes does what he has to do. So that's what pissed me off about this movie. And after seeing that shit, man, I really wanted to walk out. People walked out the theater. it was bad, man. It was like everybody came to see the Mandarin. Everybody wants to see what the fuck he can do with the rings. Because if you don't know, the Mandarin, the comic books has some crazy ass power rings. They can do some crazy shit with it. So I'm like, yo, it's just gonna be crazy if the Mandarin, can do some crazy stuff. He had the rings and everything in the movie, but he was some actor that was some pussy that had no powers, just there, and it ruined it for me. It ruined it for me, really. It did. And it was so much things that ruined this movie for me. Like, Tony Stark was having some type of anxiety attack because of what happened in the Avengers movie when he went into the wormhole. So anytime anybody says New York or wormhole, he goes into some panic attack and he's on his knees crying and whatever and sweating. And I'm like, okay, all right. And the villains they're fighting some type of villains that can regrow their limbs and stuff like that. They can breathe fire out of their mouth. They can explode. And I'm like, I don't remember any of these guys from the fucking comics. I mean, why can't they just make a fucking Iron Man movie based off of the villains in the comics? Why are they making shit up? Why are they doing that? I mean, it pisses me off because it seems like Hollywood doesn't really give a shit about, the fans of the movies, the fans of the franchises, fans of movies. They don't give a shit. They're gonna put a bullshit movie together knowing that people want to see this movie, knowing that people are Iron Man fans, knowing that people love the Avengers movie. They want to see a good movie, and this movie could have easily been decent, but they fucked it up. They messed this movie up so badly that this is the worst, I will say the worst Marvel movie ever. And a lot of people have been debating with me what's the worst Marvel movie ever. I'll give you my top 10 worst Marvel movies ever. No, I'll give it top 5 because there's a lot of them, but top 5. First one, even though I love Daredevil's gotta be number 1 up there for the worst movie. You got Ghost Rider 3, worst movie. What was it, Ghost Rider 2? Yeah, Ghost Rider 2, worst movie ever. You got Fantastic Four 1 and 2, worst movies. You have Elektra. You have all these movies. Elektra, you have Blade, Trinity. Those movies sucked. But you know something? I'd rather watch those movies over watching Iron Man 3. Seriously. I tried to watch it again on bootleg. Iron Man 3 on bootleg again. And it was even worse. That movie sucked, man. And if anybody thinks this movie is good, Iron Man 3 is good, let me fucking know and tell me why you think it's good. This movie was horrible. This movie was the worst ever, man. I came in this movie hoping to enjoy it. It's not hard for me to enjoy movies. It's not hard for me, man. You know what I mean? I watched G.I. Joe this summer. G.I. Joe sucked, man, but I got what I expected out of G.I. Joe. I got what I expected out of that movie. This movie was horrible, man. Horrible. This movie was bad. I'm telling you, this movie was bad, and I really, after watching this movie, I am so afraid to watch any other Marvel movie. Like, I'm afraid to watch Thor, the movie coming out, Thor. I'm afraid to watch that movie because it looked like it's not that impressive. I'm a little afraid to watch Wolverine because they jacked up the first Wolverine movie. They jacked that movie up pretty bad. And obviously, the last movie is coming out this year. Marvel this year is probably Captain America. And I really am hesitant to watch these movies, man, because the first Wolverine was horrible. Captain America was so-so. Thor was okay. I mean, it was nothing remarkable about those movies. I don't get it though, man. I mean, X-Men Origins was a great movie. The Avengers was also a great movie. I don't get Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man was a good movie. I don't get why they're struggling to make good movies. I don't get it. Like the first Iron Man was a great movie. I don't know why they're struggling. Why is Hollywood struggling? Is Hollywood getting lazy? What's going on? Like, why do they not care? Is it all about making a buck? I mean, no, there's no way in the world Iron Man 3 could have been this bad. Iron Man 3 was one of the worst movies, man. You have Robert Downey Jr. in the movie, and he's the only person that actually made the movie entertaining. But there was points in the movie where the dude was even using his Iron Man, so the dude was running around with a fucking gun. It felt like I was watching Mission Impossible or some shit, man, or like Lethal Weapon. It was horrible, man. It was like, oh my god, it was bad. This movie sucked, man. I mean, I'm just really upset, man, because I mean, why can't Marvel make a great movie? I mean, DC's doing it. DC made Batman. This next Superman movie coming out is looking really good. I mean, why are they jacking up the Marvel movies, man? What's going on with this, man? I don't know, man. I don't know, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy, man. I don't know. Are they trying to make these movies for like? I know they're making these movies for families to watch. They want they're making all these movies PG-13, so there can't be a lot of violence. They want all their families to watch, want little kids in the theaters or whatever, man. If you're a true comic book fan, if you read about Iron Man, read about any of these characters in comic books, Wolverine or whatever, these comic books characters are super violent. People die in comics. It's super dark. It's not a comedy. It's not nothing to laugh about. It's not a comedy. People actually die, man. I mean, if Marvel, if you want to make a fucking PG-13 stuff and you want kids to watch, families to watch, put that shit on fucking regular television. Make a fucking cartoon about that shit. This fucking Iron Man movie should have been a fucking cartoon and on fucking Disney, man. This fucking shit sucks, man. Seriously. Anyway, man, that's just my take on it. That's just my take on the movie. But right now I'm just gonna end up finishing this game. This is actually a really good game. It's probably one of the best Marvel games to come out. So that's my opinion, guys. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.